back with Bobby and JJ Radio. If you're just joining us, you've missed some great information about internet security and identity theft, but don't worry, you can listen to this show and all of our past shows on our SoundCloud page by visiting soundcloud.com/Bobby and JJ Radio. We're finishing up the show by continuing our conversation with our very own Mr. Credit, Robby Allen of Credit Restoration of Texas. So Robby, let's talk more about identity theft and preventing it. Is credit monitoring a good idea to help prevent identity theft?
I think it's a really good idea to monitor your credit. I monitor my credit, on a monthly basis. There's a lot of different websites, out there, and there's a lot of stuff on TV that you can see. But really, if you want to look at the entire enchiladas, is what I like to call it, the 3 scores and the 3 reports. The company that I recommend, and I don't make a penny off of it, they're called Privacy Guard. Okay. And for Privacy Guard, for $1, you can get your 3 scores and 3 reports, and it's $1 for like a 30-day trial. But then if you keep it, it's like $14.99 a month. And you get to pull a new score, a full report, 3 scores and 3 reports every 30 days. Okay. So I've searched the internet. This is what I do. So This is all I recommend to my clients so that they can monitor their credit, especially whether it's identity theft or trying, if they're going to make a purchase or something like that, to keep an eye on it.
So you said it's privacyguard.com, I assume?
Yeah, privacyguard.com.
And I think we were talking earlier off the air, but this does not actually affect your credit score, right? Because when you do a serious credit check.
You said it's a soft pull.
Yeah. It's a soft pull instead of a,
and that's absolutely, it is a soft pull. So when you're pulling credit for information purposes for yourself, it's not a hard inquiry. A hard inquiry is when you're trying to get a loan. That's it. You're trying to get a car loan, credit card, any type of loan, and they pull your credit. That's a hard pull. But no, so it's a soft pull for information purposes. It doesn't affect that at all. I did want to say something that when you mentioned for prevention of identity theft, it's not going to prevent the identity theft. It's very hard to prevent from someone getting your debit card information if they're going to do it. But at least you can find out. It's not 6 months down the road, right, and then your credit's wrecked. At least within 30 days, if you're monitoring it, then you're like, hey, I didn't pull my, there's an inquiry on there.
So you can deal with it quickly.
You can deal with it quickly.
So it doesn't become an issue.
Exactly.
And they have to bring in the lawyers from before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so say I'm monitoring my credit report, and say I do find something. What do you recommend? What is my first step?
The first thing is what you're going to look for is an inquiry. So if you've never shopped at XYZ Auto Store, and you know that you haven't
do good work.
Yeah, XYZ Auto Store. Then you need to figure out right away, why is this inquiry on your credit report? You could reach out directly to the company, say, hey, listen, I never requested this inquiry, and you might want to, you can contact the David Schaefer, the law offices of David Schaefer to look into it, but really find out who is in there trying to pull your credit, and then be very, very vigilant as to your bank accounts and your debit card, because if somebody's got your ID and social and out there running it, it's hard to prevent it. It's more going to be just cleaning up the mess.
But there is a difference between somebody having your credit card, your debit card information, and actually identity theft, right?
Yeah, and there is a big difference on that. One thing that you can do is, if you find out someone's got your info, is that you can put a fraud alert on all 3 of the credit bureaus. You can go to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And
you did say fraud alert, not frog alert, right?
Yeah. Okay. No, not rivet.
Yeah. Excuse me, officer. I have a frog alert.
But you can put a fraud alert on there. And so what the fraud alert does is that if somebody goes to pull your credit, it will say on there, do not establish any credit for this person. And also it'll say, hey, you need to call this phone number, which is your phone number, to verify the person. So that's one of the first steps is if you think you're a victim, then do the fraud alert through the major bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax.
Okay. So how does your company of Credit Restoration of Texas, what do y'all do specifically to help with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say you are a victim of identity theft, and we've worked many of these cases. It's about filling out the right paperwork, because if you just call up your creditor and say, hey, this isn't me, I didn't do this, they're going to say, yeah, right, try again,
right,
so long. And they just want to get you off the phone. It's about filling out the proper FTC affidavits, sending in the right paperwork to the creditors or to the collectors and to the credit bureaus. And if you do that, the success rate is very, very high of getting all of that cleaned up. and so that you're no longer liable for that debt, getting the stuff taken off of your report. But that's what we do. It's identity theft restoration and getting everything that's not yours taken off of your report.
And I've also heard of things like you remove stuff off a credit report and sometimes it comes back.
Right. With the identity theft restoration, I'm not saying it couldn't ever happen, because I mean, these companies, whether it's a bank or a store, they're really big, and they're dealing with big collection agencies. So sometimes information just doesn't get properly put, where it needs to be. But normally, when you fill out the right paperwork, that's not going to happen.
Okay. So the main thing I'm getting from this whole conversation actually is just that there's a huge importance on being proactive.
Right.
In your
Monitor your credit.
Monitor
report.
your credit. Monitor your account. Even if you think everything's hunky dory,
Check
it may
your
not
credit,
be.
Yeah, check your credit card statement, because I have to check it once a month. Every once in a while, I'll find something, and then I got to question myself: did I do that? Is that mine? Sometimes it's not.
Right. So Robby, how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, everyone can just give us a call at 210-248-9061, or they can go online to creditrestorationoftexas.com, and we'd be happy to talk to you, see what we can do to help you.
All right. Well, thank you so much to everybody for being on our show today, and for all you listeners for joining us. We'll be back next week with more great information.